Hello and welcome to RecipeKick. We're kicking off a great series, a Cooking 101 series. I'm Alex, here are my fellow instructors, Stuart, Zonya, and Mariano. So, hey guys, how's it going?
Great.
Bonsoir.
I'm coming from New Jersey right now. I'm visiting my family in the United States. So, let me get off a little bit about how I got into cooking. When I was in university, I had an opportunity to get into the restaurant industry with my brother. He taught me everything he knows. I didn't formally go to culinary school, so my opportunity was really to learn on the spot and learn on the stage in a traditional French manner because that's how he was trained. So I'm here to help you learn some new techniques along with Stuart, Zonya, and Mariano. So, Stuart, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi y'all. My name is Stuart or Ann Stewart, but I go by my middle name. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas, and have lived and worked in Texas, the United Kingdom, and now coming to you live from France. So I did graduate from the Cordon Bleu in Paris with a diploma, the Diplôme de Cuisine, as well as a diplôme or diploma in nutrition, gastronomy, and food trends. But prior to that, I was working in global sourcing for a major grocery cannot talk retailer, traveling all over the world, sourcing ingredients and final food products for shelves. So after about a year of working as a private chef all over France, specifically in chateaus, I have made the move from Paris down to Provence and have permanently joined the team here at Le Peach, which is our headquarters, as the hospitality manager. I am so excited to be working with y'all. Just cannot wait. I'm absolutely thrilled to meet you all.
Mariana, tell us a little about yourself, man.
Ah, Ladies first. I think Sonia is the next one.
Okay. Zonya, go ahead.
Great. I'll go. Hi everyone. I'm Zonya. Here at RecipeKick, I focus mostly on Southeast Asian cuisine. I was born and raised in Thailand. Now I live in Massachusetts. It's awesome. We just got a big snowstorm. I love it. I really got to cooking sort of because my mom's a chef, my sister is a chef, and every aunt and my grandmother, every memory I had as a kid was everyone was cooking. So cooking and delicious food was just always a huge part of my life. So I too did not go to official culinary school, but my family owned restaurants. So really just worked my way up there. And, I was the person peeling the garlic. Like no one likes to be the person peeling the garlic. I did that for many years to learn how to cook. Mariano, off to you.
Thank you. I'm Mariano. I'm a Sonia fan because I watch her classes. I'm Mariano. I'm Chef Mariano, hailing from now. I'm in a little bit cloudy South Florida, specifically Miami, but I'm normally in Jupiter, North Palm Beach, and I specialize in seafood. Normally specialize in seafood. I specialize in seafood fare and everything from California to Mexico to South America. I went to culinary school, but that didn't make me. I've been cooking since I was 14 in Asian foods, and especially Chinese and Sui Chen techniques. And I jumped to French food at my 20s in culinary school. I didn't like it. So I keep exploring different cuisines. So I ended up in Spain, I ended up in France, I ended up in Italy, I ended up in Switzerland. And recently I've been lucky enough to be in Michelin star restaurants in the US as well, in California. And now in Florida, well, I'm also consulting, mostly restaurant consulting, also catering, but privately. And I do food, everything with food, everything relating to food, to concepts, to cooking, to producing shows, anything. I love food.
That's awesome. So this series, ladies and gentlemen, is aimed to help you become a better cook, even if you don't know how to really start or where to really begin. We want to show you all the basics and all of our training that we started going at. So we do have a whole formal list of our series, which we're actually going to go over right now. Stuart, what classes are you doing?
Yes, I am so excited. We are going to be kicking off in the La Peach kitchen, the famous pegboard kitchen of Julia Child, along with the big yellow stove sunflower, essential kitchen tools and how to care for them. That may sound pretty basic, but really understanding how to care for your kitchen tools that you may either spend quite a bit on and want to make sure that they last, or even fun little knickknacks that you pick up. But keeping your tools clean and in perfect condition is an essential tool for your cooking arsenal. I'm also going to be doing an eggs class. That's the incredible edible egg. I am a child of the 90s. That old campaign really still sticks with me. So we'll be doing poached, French scrambled, soft and hard boiled. Basic egg cooking techniques that really will help you learn how to introduce control over temperature and timing, as well as texture and playing with layers. Up next for me, we've got braising. So braising is building upon stewing, introducing concepts of searing for flavor development and Maillard reactions before slow cooking. It's my personal absolute favorite in the world. And then we'll be going with roasting. Roasting is a dry heat and introduces the skill of roasting larger cuts of meat and just kind of a different way of going about it, specifically with proteins and vegetables. We may even throw a bit of fruit in there. And then before I forget, broiling. Broiling, which is very similar to grilling, but involving the heat cooking not from below, but from above. So really developing further control over cooking temperatures.
Awesome.
That's
Zonya. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. Zonya, what are you going to be going over in our series?
Yeah. Well, before I even go into mine, I'm so excited for Stuart's, especially the egg. I think you can learn so much about cooking from making eggs many ways. Like that's a 101 for everyone for me.
Yeah.
And taking care of your kitchen tools. I've ruined many a cutting board, many a knives, not knowing the right things to do. So those are two to not be missed. And if you want, you can come to mine after Stuart's incredible classes. Yeah. I'm doing 2 specific classes. One is on steaming. I think it's an underrated way to cook food. I love steaming because I think it's one of those things where you never think about it, but it's such a gentle way to cook food. And I always say my new goal in the last 5 years of my life is to live a more gentle lifestyle. So how gentle is steaming, right?
Yeah.
You don't agitate your food. You just lay and let it cook. So I feel like it's just like therapeutic to cook with steaming. We're going to be doing a whole fish, which is always a crowd pleaser. Folks are always like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? I'm like, I just steamed it. But you know, the whole fish always is fancy. And then we're going to be doing a stir fry, but in a wok. So really learning about cooking in a wok. Almost every memory I have again of cooking is the women in my family using a wok, and they used it for everything, not just stir frying. My mom makes the best spaghetti sauce in the world, and she makes it in a wok. So everything can be done in a wok, right? You can fry, you can deep fry, you can simmer, you can steam, you can do anything in a wok. We're going to be doing a classic stir fry. It's the classic Thai pat kapow dish, which if you have been to Thailand or know anyone who's Thai, that is really the dish of Thailand. Like, get out of here, pad Thai. It's definitely pat kapow. So I hope y'all can join. We'll be talking how to pick a wok, what seasoning means, all the fun stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. You just made me so hungry. Like when you said steamed fish, my stomach went, ooh.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Time for second dinner.
This is why I follow Sonia's lessons.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing.
Mariano, what type of techniques are we gonna see from you, man?
So, in my side, we're gonna do some stews, especially slow cooking techniques like birrias, like all these like casseroles, like slow, so we can work and really little by little work that protein and break down those fibers and to tenderize them. Stewing is a great example to how to be patient and how to like work something up from the from the beginning. It's just a straightforward, but it's something, as I agree with Sonia with the steaming, some of these techniques are a little bit underrated. So it's I think stewing is also one of those. I'm so excited because I work very different with the grill, and I do different kinds of grills. I can do light grilling, so we're gonna do grilling too, but we're gonna do like we can do coals, we can do like a smoking, like a grilling smoking combination, because you can use a smoke box and you can add your fire directly, your smoke directly to your coals and everything, and you can have the smoky flavor. Of course, every technique like grilling, stewing, they all come from different. They all come from that different result. And also, I'm doing some sauteing. I don't know how to say it. Sorry. English.
That's right.
You got it. Yeah, it's good. Sauteing. Yeah.
Sauteing. And as the reference, I'm kind of glancing over. It's a quick cooking method over medium heat. But sauteing is normally a nice way to go to press. It's very precise cooking, with your pan, and you can really control instead of like throwing in the oven, don't know, and open it and close it. So you can control the temperature, and it's a fun technique that we're gonna see. I love sauteing. If you've seen my lessons, I can. As Sonia with the mom with the wok, I can saute anything. I can make a cake in a saute pan. So yeah, those are some of the lessons we're gonna see.
I cannot wait for that birria class. Birria is one of my favorite foods
really
in the universe.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, can't wait.
Awesome.
That's good. So that leads it to me, and guys, you're going to learn from me searing, how to seal in those flavors of when you're cooking a protein. And we're going to be looking at a peppered tuna steak, where we sear it on both sides, really nice and spicy. But we're also going to like kind of do it sashimi style. So we're going to keep it like kind of cool and raw in the middle, but then like have it like a nice spread. It really is really nice to have like a sushi night or for a salad. We're also going to talk about frying. Now, when I'm saying frying, we're going to talk about the technique of frying. But what you're going to end up seeing is you're going to see like the Belgian way to cook French fries. Okay, so we're actually going to take a whole potato. We're going to stay away from those bag fries. We're going to grab a whole potato and go start for finish from potato to French fries. And that's going to be really cool, and a technique that you're going to be able to pass down to any other food that you really want to fry. So then we're going to go away from a little hot stuff, and we're going to go into salad compositions. Something that's really overlooked is also of how composing a salad can really help you become a better cook. And with my training, I mean, we started in the cold kitchen, like on Marché. It's all about the cold stuff and how you blend the cold flavors before you start making the hot stuff. And then finally, we're going to go a little high tech on my last class with sous vide. And the sous vide is going to be bringing multiple technologies together, a vacuum sealer and a hot water circulator, to then bring all our previous techniques that we're going to be talking about together with high technology and bring it all together to really make something fabulous. So hopefully everybody we got a pretty good series going on. We got a pretty good setup. We're totally psyched on it. The audience is super excited. Hopefully you guys on Instagram, you're following us, you're making sure you know what's going on. Please sign up on RecipeKick.tv for the free membership. You can see our broadcasts. And these broadcasts, just so you all know, are going to be on Mondays and Thursdays, all of January and all of February, starting with this Thursday with Stuart's class. So I do think we do have a couple questions coming from the audience. Let's see. I'm just looking over at my chat over here. So how many do we see? Okay. So let's see. We got some other questions here. Oh, okay. Here we go. We got a good one here. So what's the most complex dish you guys have ever made? Zonya, why don't you start with that one?
Was that me? Was that for me?
That's for actually all of us.
Okay.
It's like you guys.
I'll go. It's interesting. It's actually lasagna. And you might think it's like not that complex, but I really challenged myself. I made the noodles from scratch. I grinded my own meat, right?
Oh, wow.
A beautiful sauce. And then I did like a spinach bechamel. The kitchen was a wreck afterwards, but it was an incredible lasagna. It was just so complex. There were so many steps, right? Like using literally every tool I had in the kitchen. But it's so fun. It's one of those things that when you don't want to leave the house or, you have some guests coming that you really want to impress, and then, you know, they're eating like, oh, it's delicious. And you're like, oh, I grind the meat myself. That always gets people.
Yeah.
You can grind your own meat.
True homemade.
That's a flex right there. That is a flex.
Wow.
I don't do that very often. It's like a once a year thing. Okay.
Stuart, I'm sure you had made some pretty complex dishes.
I have, but that cracked me up because I'm gonna say something similar. The most, I would say, complicated and time consuming I did would be a plant-based. A few years ago, I made a plant-based or vegan mushroom Wellington, so like a beef Wellington. And sometimes I really like playing and flirting around with plant-based items. You really have an opportunity to lean into flavor and texture combinations that when you're leaning on the old classics of meat, you really kind of forget about those and just like let the meat speak. But in between learning the different liquid components of mushrooms and then trying to get everything together and everything done at the right time, learning how to dry out mushrooms, it was delicious. Was it pretty? Not exactly, but there were a lot of opportunities to learn. But I definitely bit off more than I could chew with that one, no pun intended. I think I was like 22 at the time. But I really actually want to go, now that I said it, I want to go back and try it again. Like, yeah, let's challenge ourselves.
Wow.
All right, Mariano, that means you're first, and me. What's the most complicated thing you've ever made?
A few years ago, I've been very adventurous since I was young. Like I'm always taking more than I can chew, but I can square it up. I can walk the talk. But once I couldn't do it 3 years ago, 4 years, 3.5 years ago.
Now you can.
Now, yeah, and the pandemic hit really, really hard, and we had an emergency situation. I worked with World Central Kitchen, and we had to feed all these people who they didn't let board out in the Bay Area. They were a full cruise ship with more than 2,700 people, and they didn't have any chefs. Everyone was busy. Me and Chef Elsa only doing 24 hours of cooking nonstop, and we couldn't finish. We couldn't finish. We were cooking so much, and we were flash freezing so much that our arms couldn't push the carts to the flash freezer because we couldn't walk anymore. And of course, I keep saying yes, and it was middle of the night, and I kept saying yes.
You just kept asking for it.
I was asking for it, and the problem was I had to do a slurry. I chose the menu, and the menu was salmon, but I had to do a slurry for the salmon. But it's not an easy slurry. It's a bat. It's a huge bat of slurry. Imagine to do like a soy slurry. Like, wow, it's crazy. So that's my most challenging part, but the most rewarding, seeing all this food being taken away and taking care of all these people in the ship without asking anything in return. That was my going home tired and dead. That was for me the best. But
Mariano, is that with Chef Jose Andres's?
Yes.
Oh, he's incredible.
But amazing. Chef Jose Andres wasn't there. He was there only the third day. Chef Elsa, she has one. Chef Elsa is the boots in the ground for all the World Central Kitchen. If there any relief going on, Chef Elsa is there taking care of everything. She organizes everyone. She's God sent. Seriously.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, but challenging. That the most challenging I had because I thought I could, and I needed help.
Yeah, no, that sounds really wow. That's
brutal. Just
for cooking so many people. Like, I mean, I've done catering gigs myself, and then and doing that's next level. Finished. I mean, the whole thing is complicated.
No, because people are bringing boxes of stuff, donations that you need to process immediately. Like process a lot of food, a lot of stuff for people, and it's indeed challenging. Yeah.
Right. So I think for me, guys, I think my most complex thing I've ever done was like start to finish lobster thermidor. Just like the whole thing, get that prepared. Yeah. And, there's a reason I've only done it like once because of how complicated like discovering and trying to figure that out for myself was because I didn't have anybody to help me teach it. Like I had it once. I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to try that. do like a little bit of research in a book and then, you know, try to get at it. But that, you know, for me, usually I'm really straightforward A to B and follow my processes. But there is no shortcut because I'm always like, you know, you love the sous vide. I love, you know, all these little shortcuts that I usually do, and there's no shortcut when it comes to that for me. We do have some questions from the audience. So let's see. We got Zonya, straight up for you. When you're grinding, do you use an attachment like for your KitchenAid?
Yeah, just a KitchenAid attachment. Yeah, you can buy them now on the KitchenAid website. Yeah.
The ones that you add to the mixer?
To the front of the
so
KitchenAid.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a must-have. It's almost like that tool, that machine itself.
You can make chorizo with that too. That's amazing.
Yeah, I actually, you know what, Mariano, I did do chorizo during the pandemic. I did it. Like, I ended up getting my own beef and everything because, like, I didn't like what was available to me around me, and especially during the pandemic.
Nice.
You know, you're going in with masks, but you get the spices and you realize what you're, you know, you just look up stuff and you do some research and then you just empower yourself to do that, especially if you have the tools and equipment to do it. Yeah. So the next question they actually have for all of us, and this is a one only. You can only pick one. What's your must-have kitchen tool? Wow. Okay. Must-have kitchen tool. Yeah, I'll go off with this. Must-have for me. Must-have for me has to be a pair of tongs. So a pair of tongs is for me. Like, I just need to be able to have control. And when I'm sauteing or searing or doing anything like that, I need to be able to, you know, be able to control hot stuff. Yeah. The kitchen tongs, they're my number. I have to have them. I can't do without.
For me, is the scraper. I'm always, some people use different stuff. I'm really spoiled with the scraper. I love my scrapers. Because I normally use my I used to use my knife, but then I used a baking spatula, like those baking scrapers. You're doing your veggies and you can like easily clean, easily scrape, put everything. I love it. That's the baking thing. My big one.
Zonya,
that's a fair one. Oh, sorry.
No, Stuart,
no. Go ahead, Stuart.
Because I know you might be saying the same thing.
Yeah, for me, I mean, out of the many things, the huge arsenal, I would have to say for me, it's a heat safe rubber spatula. Not only are they very hygienic, unlike wooden spoons and things, which we'll learn about that you need to boil at least once a month, but they're very easy to clean. They're dishwasher safe. They just make stirring, slopping, dumping, anything that you need to do. It's very gentle on Dutch ovens and cast iron pans. They're not making a loud noise. They're not going to damage anything. And Zonya, I was giggling because I was thinking about when you said gentle cooking with the steaming. I was like, that's exactly what a rubber spatula is. It's gentle, but it also is the most effective. So yeah, that's my game changer. I actually always have one in my purse with me at all times. Like, you just honestly never know. So yes, I travel like Allison Roman travels with a fish spatula. That would be my second one. I travel with a rubber spatula.
Wow.
We all have our things.
That's cool. Yeah, no, you all have your thing.
I knew a chef who had a mini whisk, like a keychain, a mini whisk.
Yeah.
With a little one. Oh,
yeah.
I don't need that thing. Yeah.
Stuart, same answer. It's my favorite tool, but this is a little bit of cop-out, is a really sharp knife. That is mine. You can do anything with a really sharp knife.
Definitely.
A big one.
Yeah.
I like a big cleaver.
Cleaver?
Yes.
Cleaver style? Yeah.
A big sharp cleaver.
Of course, a big cleaver.
All right.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right, we got some questions.
Yeah, we got some questions. So we got Michelle watching on RecipeKick. Do you prefer nonstick or stainless steel cookware?
Okay, I will start because I didn't go to culinary school. Mm-hmm. I think it's absolutely okay to start with nonstick. I always say this in all of my classes. It's better to cook than not cook because you are afraid of, oh, I don't know how to use a stainless steel, or I don't have fancy spices. Cook with the nonstick pan you got at like the dollar store. They're not the best for your health, but you know, once you get better, then you'll buy better pans. I now use a lot of stainless steel and it's fantastic, but don't let the fear of cooking stop at the nonstick pan. I feel very passionate about this one.
Well said. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Heard.
Go, Sonia. Go, Sonia.
I mean, mine's not even on the list there. It's like if I got to choose stainless steel or nonstick, I mean, I'll go with stainless steel. But I mean, I'm a copper cooker. So technically, okay, stainless steel is on my copper pan, so it's like a combo. So I kind of get away with this one. I prefer copper cookware just because of the control and the reaction time that you get from copper. It's my go-to.
Wow.
So, Stuart, are you a copper fan as well? Or are you?
I am a copper fan. I only have a few pieces of copper that my grandmother very graciously gave me, but one of them is a little sauce pot. And there is something about, and I don't know the exact like scientific thing, but it's something with the copper going in with the saucier. It just works so perfectly and beautifully. But other than that, and if you've been in my classes, I am a cast iron girl. Maybe it's because I'm from the South. I don't know. But I traveled with all my cast iron to France in my carry-on. Yes, it weighed a metric ton. I had a cat in one bag and all my cast iron in my other carry-on. But it's just, if you take care of it, it'll last. My mother has a cast iron pan it's pre-World War I. So if you take care of your stuff, it'll last forever. So I'm a huge believer in really honoring that power of it. But I mean, to say with Zonya, like whatever you have, like you can cook in anything. Yeah, you can cook in anything at all. Just get into it and explore and find what you love.
Yeah,
I second that from Stuart. I cook again. Like I can cook with anything, but yeah, no. I normally cook with anything, anything, even with hot stones. I don't care. I've done it, but it depends. Like choosing the right tool, as we were saying, especially with the stainless and non-stick. It depends on the task in hand. If you have the task in hand, if you have a non-stick and you feel adventurous, you can use it, of course. But if you feel like backwards, stainless steel, and you feel adventurous, let's try it out. But remember, you have to use a little bit of oil. You have to get that friction going on. So you have to, you're going to have some chemistry going on. You're going to have some heat. It's going to stick. So you have to wait. It's not going to stick forever. It's going to turn out, but you have to wait. It's a little bit like stainless. I love it. People get wild when they see me on classes doing stainless for like tortilla española. It's like, you can't do tortilla española with stainless. Watch me. Yeah, but it's normally with it's easier with non-stick. I'm just saying, don't be a hero. Baby steps, but be adventurous.
Yeah. All right, we got another question from Anna on RecipeKick. I know you all continue to learn, but when did you really start feeling like a professional in the kitchen?
Oh,
like when you actually felt like you were a pro in the kitchen. Like, I guess, I mean, like, is that, maybe that's like, how did we know we were really good at this? So we wanted to pursue it? Or like, how did you know you felt really good? Like you got it.
I'll go. Oh, go ahead, Mariano.
No, go. It's fine.
No, I mean, I think for me, and this is also just speaks to also my personality. I'm a consistent learner and just kind of always feel like I'm starting from zero as opposed to 100%. I think it's that high of chasing that feeling. If I'm being completely honest, it's, what can you do better? I'm such an old little, Italian nonna. Like when people are eating what I'm cooking, I'm like, what do you think? Do you think it could be better this way? Do you think should I've added the acid at the earlier step, or should I've hit it at the end with a little bit more? Did I do too much turmeric, or whatever? It's consistently asking those questions and allowing that space. I don't think I'll ever feel like a professional in anything that I do. I mean, yes, of course, but I think it's always just really trying and striving for that next step, and being, again, going back to the gentleness, being really gentle with yourself and just having fun with that creativity. I mean, I think doing it as a professional career also helps, as it does for us in any career path that we choose. But for me, it's when I see people start like smiling by what I cook, specifically if it's my family, because they are my toughest critics. So if my dad likes it, then I'm like, okay, I did it.
Yeah, I can kind of echo that as
question.
well. Yeah, that's a good question. I can kind of echo that as well a little bit. I mean, I love cooking for other people, so that's where whenever I see their like the people's satisfaction when they eat. But I mean, this is a little vanity thing for me, you know. So when I moved to France, this is all after my cooking career, I got into education, then got out of education, moved to France. But when I started cooking again, and I started cooking French food, the biggest thing where I was like, I actually do know what I'm doing. This is awesome. Is when I cooked duck frites for these French people who were coming out to like make sure we were all good and settled in. And I cooked them duck frites, and I apparently changed this guy's mindset, this Frenchman's mindset on Americans and cooking in the kitchen. Like, you know, like, oh, they don't know what they're doing.
Well,
I changed this guy's mind. I completely changed this dude's mind. And like, I do take a sense of pride, especially when it comes to French cuisine, where like, I can make you something really good that's really French, but you know, you think I've been doing it for years, or like that, you know, I was French, like just completely fooling them. Like, so that for me is my biggest.
Nice. Señorita Zonya?
I think I'm the same with Stuart. I still don't feel at all like a professional, but you know, when my mom requests a dish, when she's like, oh, you made that really good last time, can you make it again? I'm like, that's it, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah. And honestly, when people started to pay me to cook for them, I was like, okay, you're paying good money for me to go to your house and use your fancy kitchen. I'm in. I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. But always learning new things.
Awesome. All right, we got an ingredient question from Michelle on RecipeKick now. What's our feeling on generics? Like, is there like a name brand that we use, like, you know, like, and what generics do you just like completely stay away? I mean, so Stuart, you and I are kind of, we kind of are in a different zone regarding this, because I mean, I feel our generic grocery store stuff is pretty top notch. That's just on my end, but you know, we do get like Philadelphia cream cheese, for example.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm going to answer this coming from a global sourcing manager for a grocery retailer who handled private label and national brand items. And I will tell you, Michelle, a lot of the private label stuff you see at the grocery store comes from the exact same manufacturer after the exact same line, and it's going. Philadelphia does not. I can tell you that, but so that one's fair. But a lot of food is just marketing, just like everything else, and it's international that way. So Alex, what we get at our grocery stores here is the same manufacturer that Trader Joe's or whomever is using in the U.S. But that's a whole nother tangent. I will say though that in terms of kitchen tools, I am hands down the only microplane I will touch are by the gods that made actual microplane, that brand. That is the only one I will absolutely go near. So in terms of certain tools for those items, yeah, absolutely. I stick to certain name brands for that. Oop. And my light just went off. Said I'm done.
All right, Mariano.
Zonya, what do you think? Yeah.
Quality line. I source from everything. I like to go to Mexican mercados. I go to Mexican corner stores to I'm not. I source from my clients, same as Zonya. Like I have like some high-end clients, like any kind of client. I forewarn my clients most of the time that I'm very adventurous. So they might not see tickets. When they tell me like, can you bring in tickets now? I don't do that thing. I don't do the ticket thing. I don't do the ticket game because I go to farmers market. I go to the farms, Jupiter farms. I go to all these kind of farms, and I do have friends who are like fishermen. So you cannot put those fish on the market. That's an.
I want to see the receipt for that fish.
There's no receipt for that fish. Yeah. You know that beautiful sheep's head.
I just got it.
I just got it. There's no receipt. No, that's my receipt. The picture. You know. So I'm pretty adventurous on that, and by saying that, I use any kind of brand as long as it's good. I agree with Stuart. I used to work in food sourcing, so yes. It's very much, there's a lot of generic brands who are the same one as pure marketing. As long as it's good for you, as long as it tastes good, as long as you're happy with the price range, that's great. And for the tools, as well as there's some brands that works better than the other ones, that they don't rust. Some brands are a little bit more high-end, more quality, and some of them are more accessible. So it depends on your budget and your taste at the end.
Absolutely.
I'll plus one to all of that except fish sauce. There's only one brand. It's 3 crabs. They
You
need
use
to
3
pay
crabs?
me to be their like spokesperson. I don't care what anybody says.
Which
3
one?
crabs. And it's
3
3
crabs?
crabs brand, and there's copycats. There's counterfeit. That's how you know it's good. There's counterfeit.
There's
fish
counterfeit fish sauces to that.
Anything
And
else?
Is there a noticeable difference?
Yes. Yes.
4th crab.
I have taste tested a lot of fish sauces, but I'm with Mariano. Like, do what is right for your palate, your budget, except for fish sauce. Get the expensive 3 crabs.
Invest.
Yeah,
Okay.
just put
no
the money
free
out there.
plugs
Okay.
Except for 3
I think
crabs.
that's a great advice. That's a great advice.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It is.
What time is it?
Oh, all right. So, guys, that was the last question. We're all super stoked that you have joined us here on our introductory class for our 101 series. Our next episode is actually on Thursday with Stuart, and we're going to be going over the essential cooking kitchen tools and how do you care for them. So, guys, great seeing you. Enjoy, Stuart. What time are you going off? Is it 10 o'clock in the morning East Coast?
Nope, we're going live at 4 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, so 4 p.m. Eastern. Yep, and I'll be in the little pegboard kitchen that Julia Child built at La Peach.
Is that 4 p.m. French time, or is that 10
4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
All right. Wow. Okay, cool. Super dope.
I believe. Yeah.
Guys, until next time, we'll see you later, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Wait, I'm going to correct. It is 10 a.m. I'm sorry. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, 10 a.m.
Sorry.
Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Make sure you pre-register. You can pre-register for all our classes on RecipeKick.tv.